Good day, everyone. Now let's talk about the birth and early infancy. Now, these stage are the initial stage of the human's life. So, meaning you and I, all of us, have already encountered it during the past, wherein we are mostly just little children. Okay, so there are stages of birth and early infancy. Now, the first stage is birth. So in birth, the baby is born. So it makes the transition from the womb and outside the human world. So this stage is where most of us came from our mother's womb. So there are many medical occurrences that will happen during these stages, such as cutting your umbilical cord and such. Now, transitioning from birth, we are now at neonatal stage. So this stage spans the first 28 days of life. So the baby is highly dependent on caregivers and undergoes rapid physiological adjustments, such as adapting to independent breathing and regulating body temperature. Now, meaning in the neonatal stage is where most of us develops our physical attributes. So this slowly builds up as we grow up. And this is where the transitioning from neonatal up until infancy stage happens. Now, from neonatal stage to infancy stage, so when we are at the infancy stage, so this refers to the period of a child's life, typically spanning from birth to around 2 years old. So it is a critical time for growth and development, laying the foundation for further cognitive, social, emotional, and physical advancement as the child progresses into toddlerhood and beyond. Now, in infancy, so this is the stage where most of us will be considered as as a child, as a normal child. So in this stage is where most of our social skills develop, like talking and such, our cognitive behaviors such as our movements, our behaviors as well. So it is where our emotions starts to develop, as well as our physical attributes such as our muscles, such as our facial structures and bodily structures and such. So that is for the stages of birth and early infancy. So now let's move on to the developmental changes that happens in birth and early infancy.
Newborn infant in their early weeks takes reflexes like sucking, grasping, and startle responses. Newborn begins to explore and respond to their environment using their sense of sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. In this, we can see a lot of improvement on newborn infants as days are fast approaching. Next is cognitive development. This developmental stage, infants begin to learn and process information from their environment. They will start recognizing faces, differentiating between sounds, and responding to stimuli. Every language development begins with vocalization and mumbling. It's where they make their cute voices when babysitting their niece or sister. Emotional development. Infants form emotional bonds with their caregivers, usually their parents or primary caregivers. These attachments are crucial for emotional well-being and future social interaction. Also, babies express their needs and emotions through crying, smiling, and facial expressions. For example, you are the babysitter of your sister and she starts crying. When that scene happens, it is probably because she is hungry, sleepy, or her diaper are full, and other causes. An emotional bond, when we talk about emotional bond, it is the bond you make or we make from our sister, brothers, when we are infants or they are infants. Next is feeding and sleep patterns. Infants have specific nutritional needs and established feeding routines. Newborns wake every couple of hours to eat. Breastfeed babies feed often, about every 2 to 3 hours. When it comes to sleep patterns, vary during the first months with the frequent sleep-wake cycles, gradually transitioning to longer periods of sleep at night. Newborns should get 14 to 17 hours of sleep over a 24-hour period, says the National Sleep Foundation. Some newborns may sleep up to 18 to 19 hours a day. And that's all for developmental changes of infants.
Good day everyone, I'm Jaya March Ampaya and today I'm going to discuss about the importance of birth and early infancy. So, the birth and early infancy is a critical time in human development and lays in the foundation for a person's overall health and well-being throughout their life. Here are some aspects that highlights the importance of infancy stage. So the first is the physical development. During birth and early infancy, rapid physical growth and maturation occur. This period is crucial for the development of organ system, brain development, and establishing neutral connections. Adequate nutrition, including breastfeeding, is vital for health and growth development. So the second is the cognitive development. So the brain undergoes significant development in the early years with rapid growth in neutral connections and the formation of pathways. This period is critical for learning, language, and development. Problem-solving skills and future intellectual ability is present in this development. Stimulating environment and responsive caregiving support and optical cognitive development. So the last, emotional and social development. Birth and early infancy lay the groundwork for emotional bonding, attachment, and social interaction. Infants form emotional attachment with their parents, which play a fundamental role in shaping their emotional well-being, social skill, and future relationships. This period is a crucial for healthy and emotional development.
Language and communication. Early infancy is a sensitive period for language development. Infants are highly receptive to sounds, language patterns, and gestures. Frequent verbal and non-verbal interactions with caregivers contribute to language acquisition and communication skills of the baby. This period sets the stage for later language development and literacy. The baby learns to talk by copying the words and sounds we make, by talking, reading, and singing to baby using a soft, gentle voice. Also, by using different tones of our voice, learn some basic language skills by the end of his or her first year by speaking few simple words. Health and disease prevention. The early years are crucial for establishing a strong foundation of health. Adequate nutrition, immunizations, and regular health checkups are essential for babies to prevent illnesses and ensure optimal physical growth. Breastfeeding is the best method for early infant feeding and the healthiest option for most mothers and infants. Infants who are breastfed have reduced risks of ear and respiratory infections such as asthma, sudden infant death syndrome, and obesity. Early detection and intervention for any development delays or health issues can lead to better outcomes. Parent-child bonding. Birth and early infancy provide a unique opportunity for parents and caregivers to develop a strong bond with the child. A secure and nurturing attachment relationship promotes trust, emotional security, and positive parent-child interactions. This bond serves as a foundation for the child's future relationships and emotional well-being. Bonding is the intense child attachment that develops between parents and their babies. It makes parents want to shower their baby with love and affection and to protect and care for their little one. Bonding gets parents up in the middle of the night to feed their hungry baby and makes them attentive to the baby's wide range of cries. Bonding is the intense attachment that develops between parents and their baby. It is important to note that each child develops at their own pace, and individual experiences may vary. However, creating a supportive and enriching environment during the birth and early infancy period can have long-lasting positive effects on a child's overall development and well-being.